I know. Just comes out.
Get ready.
That comes out a little strong, right? That's a bit much.
It's happening.
What's up? It's the drop. It's 12:30. We're at Cactus Music World headquarters. I'm Ruben. That's Quinn. All right, man.
Ooh, some studio audience chatter. What is that?
And the crate has arrived. Let's get to the list, man, because there's a ton of good stuff on here.
We got a ton of good stuff. I don't have a prop for this next one, but we have a great in-store performance opportunity for people to check out on Saturday. We have Lighthearted. They're a band from Athens, Georgia, came by way of some friends that we have that are over there. And, 5P's kind of pop rock kind of, I think I hear a lot of California in there.
Okay.
You have twin sisters doing sibling harmonies, which I always love. Great tunes.
You've got me.
There's a little bit of.
I'm intrigued.
It's an indie rock Fleetwood Mac thing, kind of.
Nice.
Yeah, they sound great.
Nice.
Great harmonies. We love to present new talent here on the Cactus stage. So Saturday, 1 p.m. Hope to see you here for Lighthearted. Complimentary St. Arnold beverages. It's going to be fun, and it's our first time through Houston. So let's show them a good time.
All right,
get out and support
this one. I want to come. Well, I want to come to all of them. Something always goes wrong.
So it is. Things get in the way. Things happen.
It's God. The last in-store I saw here was before COVID.
Oh, no way. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to fix that.
Yeah, we're going to fix that. All right, let's get to it.
All right, here's the list proper.
Yes,
New releases coming at you.
Yes, sir.
New releases coming at you. And this is Houston fan fave. This is Krung Bin. And not just Krung Bin, but Krung Bin and Friends. And let me tell you what's going on here. This is the Live at Stubbs album, new release from them. And so they're doing a series of live albums. They're kind of on hiatus right now. So they're putting out these live albums that are geocentric from some of their favorite cities. So there's a New York one coming out. There's a whole series of live albums. And, of course, they're phenomenal.
Right.
Live app, hypnotic and cool and funky. And there's a whole bunch going on. For this record, it was a special night because there's a bunch of guests on it. And I don't know if you can really read it on the back.
I can. Oh, absolutely. Kelly Doyle, local Zydeco, man himself, Ruben Moreno, the Sufferers, Robert Ellis. Yeah, man. That's
it's pretty solid.
That's a very solid lineup right there.
It's a fun record. I heard this and I thought, man, this is summer. This is just a good time.
So, and it's the artists that I just named. So Krung Bin and Friends. So are these guys like just part opening and then Krung Bin comes on?
No,
or
it's
they're
them
all
playing,
together?
Yeah, they're all
playing together. Okay, that's cool. That's what I was hoping it was.
Which they're good at that. I will tell you the one failing of this record, that it's just a minor. It would be so much better if it was Houston instead of Austin.
Yeah.
I'm thinking in particular of that.
Was this South by Southwest?
It might have been.
Okay.
It might have been. I'm not really. I don't know that the date's not listed on the outside.
Right.
There might be more programming info on the inside, but I'm thinking in particular of the Leon Bridges show that was here. Like that would have been good, but there's probably contractually bound to not put that out.
Exactly.
But you get a bunch of cool covers on there.
Right. There are different covers, right?
Yeah. So this is the Indie Store exclusive cover,
right.
And I'm guessing when they finish the series, it looks like it's going to be like a puzzle piece.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't
That makes sense.
like that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that's what's going on. I have not read that. I'm telling you, I think that's what's happening.
Perfect.
So check that out. Some good summer jams. Next up, superstar UK artist is a Scottish singer, Lewis Capaldi.
Oh my God.
This is his new album, Broken by Desire to Be Heavenly Sent, which is just as confounding to say as the title of his previous album, which was kind of very, very similar. For those that don't know, he had a monstrous debut in the UK. That album was number one. It was the best-selling album in the UK for 2019 and 2020, that's wild.
Have you seen it's the Netflix?
I have not seen it, but
it's in my queue. I want to see it.
But it just propelled him to even like superstar. I mean, a story sells a record. That's just like it's how it's always been. And I guess it's him like kind of because he was so huge. I mean, his first single was number one for 7 weeks or something like that.
So for a long time. Record store vet like yourself, the story sells the album.
Story sells the album.
What does that mean?
I just think people can relate. It makes it more relatable. I mean, there's still like a great song will grab you and
Right.
will bring people into the stores, or certainly, you
But
can see the
if there's a
streaming
certain
pumps.
story or like a buzz or something
Yeah.
about the album makes people want to check it out.
Yeah,
all the more.
and that can be a new artist, and you see it a lot more, I think, with artists that have had a long and storied career, where there's sometimes some reveals in these whether it's a biopic or a documentary that
Right.
really kind of again makes the artist seem approachable and relatable, and it just kind of kicks it into high gear. That's that kind of happened for him, but obviously big pressure, sophomore release.
Yeah.
By all accounts, it seems pretty good. This is on the store
includes the
exclusive
number
white
one
vinyl.
single, "Forget Me." So there you go.
Forget
It's already
Me.
got a number one single.
Don't-
He's on his way.
Most people are like, "Don't forget me."
Yeah.
He's like, "Forget me." All right, are you okay? This next record, I want to say that I think that these kinds of records, they are for heritage artists. They're as obligatory as Christmas albums, and this is the new symphonic Def Leppard record. This is with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. This is Drastic Symphonies, and I just think if you're a heritage rock band, this is a good stopgap measure to kind of temper expectations for your next studio record, because they're coming off a huge studio record. I mean, their last studio record
covered
was
it.
really, really well acclaimed. But so you got Animal, Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Yeah. Too Late for Love.
Too Late for Love.
They went back. Goes back to the. I like it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I think it's one of those things, these types of records, if you like the band, you got a pretty good chance of liking it. If you don't, this is probably not going to win.
No, yeah.
Win you over.
Do not give this for Christmas to someone who is not a hardcore fan.
And in some cases, for hard rock bands, these symphonic records make fans mad.
Yeah, remember remember the Metallica symphony thing?
Metallica
People
thing,
flipped out.
People were upset, really
Flipped
upset.
out.
So anyway, but I think they probably are pretty good playing well with the songs.
I will tell you, I saw Earth, Wind, and Fire with the Houston Symphony.
Oh, that must have been awesome.
It was really good.
I love Earth, Wind,
It was
Fire.
incredible.
I love Earth, Wind,
Yeah,
and Fire.
but that music is written. It's composed anyway.
it's charted.
Yeah.
Yes, it is charted.
Yeah,
But to hear the horns with the symphony, that's cool.
right.
That's
No,
real cool.
it was beautiful and funky.
See that?
Funky and beautiful.
All right, and a brand new blues release with the Houston connection. This is such
yeah,
a cool
I heard about
record.
this. Yeah.
Our buddy Glenn Davis was raving about this
Oh,
record.
come on,
He saw
yeah.
the show.
Yeah, he loves Jesse Dayton.
He does. This is a Samantha Fish and Jesse Dayton. This is Death Wish Blues, their brand new record on Rounder. And what you need to know about this, produced by John Spencer, the John Spencer Blues Explosion.
Say no more.
It sounds exactly like
You think it's pretty raw,
yeah,
nice
man.
and stripped down.
It's raw, it's groovy.
Yeah.
And
just dive bar boogie.
I love her. I think she's like a superstar in the making. We did an event with her at the store, and I was just like,
Yeah.
holy cow, she is great. And he's a master
we talked
showman. Anyway.
We talked about the transformation of Samantha Fish, because I think her first album, first tour, whatever. I mean, she looked like some skater punk.
Yeah.
She had this long kind of hair. The chops, obviously, and the songwriting, but then I don't know if she did it herself or there was some record label makeover or whatever, but
the re-imaging of her as a pinup girl, like rockabilly.
Yeah,
chick.
50s rockabilly works really well. And it's like, she's an attractive woman on stage and all that stuff. Man, she could blaze on the guitar. And hers. I love it when she plays slide on that little cigar box guitar.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
She just
did
kills
that
it.
here. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And everything we just said pairs well with Jesse.
And then and Jesse. I mean, this dude's been in the game for so long. Pride of Beaumont, Texas.
Pride of Beaumont. The Beau Monster.
Yeah,
the Beau Monster.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we got some hip hop coming at you. This is Benny the Butcher. This is Tana Talk 4. This is an ongoing series. This is one of those records. It was actually a 22 digital release, finally available on vinyl. This is really, he's an emerging artist.
I don't know that much about him.
Every record's done more than the previous one. And new album, got some pretty serious guests on there.
J. Cole, Boldy James, Diddy.
Who you don't really see Diddy on much.
Yeah.
He's probably just kicking back counting money.
Yeah, Diddy only shows up if he wants to.
Yeah, the singles Johnny P's Caddy. Listen to that this morning. Sounds cool.
Nice.
Yeah, this is one of those artists like the sales just keep on
climbing.
keep climbing.
Keep your eye on
So could be a household name before too
Keep
long.
your eye on him. Love it. Cool.
Okay, we're back to rocking kinda. This is the new Ghost covers EP. I have opinions about this.
I want to hear him because I do too.
I don't really like it.
I'm not a Ghost.
Well, to me, I mean, the image. I get why people are like all over, like imagery wise. I mean, look, this is so Geiger looking, right? And all the artwork is kind of crazy and cool. It is just super slick and pop. And he covers like some punky. He covers the Stranglers. He covers Television on here, and to take all the edge off of it and just make it really. It is pretty slick. I don't know. I think his fans, it's cool because he will introduce that repertoire to a bunch of his fans that are probably not aware of it, and that is a good thing. The one time it really rocks out that he does Phantom of the Opera, Iron Maiden track, and that's that one really kind of rocks out. But I don't know. I really kind of struggle with this guy, and I know he's super popular.
Yeah, if you love it, good on you, as they say.
Yeah,
it never connected with
you. You know what? You don't usually hear. We're not too critical on the drop. We're just like covering it, but we just kind of went there.
Yes, we did get a little critical on this. So I think they're working on a live album too, because there was something on.
They did a big tour, first big tour post pandemic. So.
I think it was Metal Injection or something had it this morning. Loudwire had it, I think.
So I'm going to make a big prediction.
Yes.
You want to hear this?
Go.
We had Pandemic studio records come out.
Right.
Guess what? What's next? Post-pandemic tour live albums.
Yes, here they come.
You're here first. They are coming.
So
people.
will this be Ghost's Garage Days?
It kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
It took a page out of the Metallica playbook. Okay, hey man, happy to welcome these guys back to making records. This is Wild Child. This is their new album, End of the World, which you can tell it's been on their mind over the past 3 years.
Exactly.
Look at this picture on the back. This is so funny with the Grim Reaper holding the puppy outside of an apartment building or something. It's pretty funny. So what you need to know, they're essentially a duo. It's a band record, but they're essentially a duo, which is Kelsey Wilson and Andrew Beggins. In 2019, they decided to go do other things, and the band had been around for 10 years. They decided to just kind of wind it down. Right. And then the pandemic happens, and they, like everyone else, had to figure out, a stream of revenues, as working musicians. And so they started doing some live streaming type performance stuff and ended up writing a whole new record. So, and now they're back out touring it and playing it. This is one of Austin's best bands they've turned out in the last 10 years. Her voice is great. She's a great singer, kind of really jazzy. Really jazzy.
I know zero about
They
it.
played the store a couple of times. Really, cool band. And actually, I think they still have their respective other bands, but there's a Wild Child record. So, and they have a lot of fans here in Houston. So I know people are into that record. I'm just going to say this next band is one of the coolest bands in the world. If you don't know about them, this is Norwin. This is North African desert blues music. Man, they are cool. This is hypnotic and, kind of raga, kind of, I don't know, you just got to hear it, but it's like intertwining guitar leads that are just like groovy. They are real deal refugees making music, and their records are fantastic. The thing that's different about this record is a kind of a country tinged record. They worked with the great Daniel Lanois, who is known for working with Dylan and U2 and Emmylou Harris,
Brian Eno,
countless other people. And it's got some pedal steel on it, and it's really, really cool to listen how like their multi guitar thing works with pedal steel. It's cool. Listen to this thing if you love guitars.
I'm gonna have to get into this.
It's like one of the only things you're gonna hear that's like that maybe ever.
Well, it was like when the Mdu Mokhtar album came out,
right?
21.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I had heard that single and I was like, what is that? And then when I kind of got into it, I was like, I had heard it before, but I didn't know what it was. I'd heard it in like a
Yeah.
show or something like that. And man, I played that.
Yeah,
I
and that's
played
kind of
that
they're kind of a
lot.
little heavier than these guys. These
Yeah.
guys, and they perform in all of their like
Yeah.
robes and stuff.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is wild and cool.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff happening.
Okay, very popular band.
Do we still call that world music? Remember when it was? That would have been world music.
I mean, it's music from the world.
I remember like the
What world
article,
is this from?
Peter Gabriel dabbling in world music on his new album. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, great.
Yep, he dabbled.
He did that.
He done dabbled. We have the Mars Volta. Now
Yes.
they had their first studio reunion record in a long time, very recently, and this is, as they often do, reimagine that repertoire. And this is acoustic versions of that record, and it really, that's where the Latin flavor and like the really kind of shows through. And I think fans will dig it. I think they're one of those bands who some people like it when they do that and other people don't. But
Yep.
it's such a guitar thing, and people that play guitar don't like just one style of guitar. I think it's cool move. I mean, they're always pushing the envelope and unpredictable. And in this
Cool
record, what you got there?
It's embossed.
It's embossed. All the best records,
Yeah,
are
are
embossed.
embossed.
They just are. They just are.
I think we can. I saw something on one of the million YouTube IG feeds that I follow. I think it was the anniversary. Somebody posted something about the anniversary of the breakup of At the Drive-In.
Oh, wow.
It was 2001, I think. Like on this
Sounds
day,
right.
da 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 da. At the Drive-In called it.
They said
quits.
that's it.
They said
Can't take it
they said,
anymore.
we are done.
We're done
And
skis.
then we got the Mars Volta.
Hey, we're keeping the guitar. You notice we've got a real trail of guitar business going on
keep it
here.
coming.
And this is one of the greatest purveyors of
Legendary
legendary country music.
Telecaster
purists.
master.
This is Marty Stuart and his band, the Fabulous Superlatives. And as you
That's
can
a
tell,
great band.
great band. I mean,
Those-
these guys
ugh.
can just
Those were
Kenny
assassins.
Vaughn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like the
Yeah.
coolest. Great band. And this is kind of a concept record. I couldn't kind of figure out what the concept was, but I'm okay with that. This is very late 60s Cosmic Cowboy Birds inspired.
Yeah.
Which, he did a reunion for the Sweethearts of the
And look
Rodeo.
at him. Got the
And-
nudie style suits on.
and that hair,
He's
man.
still rocking
That
the
is
hair.
some
Yeah.
hair.
And he goes on stage in the full regalia, man.
His shows are over
You know,
the
someone
top great.
stole that Telecaster, like that thing he'd had for a million years, and he got it back somehow. I don't know what the story is, but somebody spotted it somewhere. Of course, it's like one of the most identifiable guitars on the planet.
Here's a newsflash. People are rotten.
Yeah,
How about
people
that?
suck.
How about that? Check that out. And I think he's coming to town. I should have pulled that date up, but go see him. He is really great. If you like that old school country music, you're gonna dig it.
The good stuff.
You might even learn something too.
Yeah, he might-
Okay, kind of cut from the same cloth with roots music. This is a brand new band. This is the Barnstormers. And you might think, well, that's misspelled, but no, it's Jimmy Barnes, legendary Australian hard rock vocalist. He's got like 20 #1 albums or something down there. Kind of a non-entity here. But you got him. You got the great Jules Holland from later,
Sure.
UK guy. Chris Chaney, he's from that UK. I'm not UK. The Down Under, kind of the Green Day of Australia, the Living End.
Oh, Living End. Yeah. Slim Jim Phantom.
and
of course,
Kevin
we know-
Shirley, who
we know
produced
Slim.
a ton of big records during
This
the
is
REO
cool.
Speedwagon.
Have you heard it?
Yeah, it's
And?
cool. It's straight ahead rockabilly, super fun.
Nice.
It's good party record. I love the album art; it's terrific. But yeah, this is a cool record.
Jimmy Barnes, for all his success in Australia and other parts of the world, is still relatively unknown in the United States, which is amazing. This guy's got one of those rock and roll voices that's just like, I mean, he's like the freaking Paul Rogers of Australia or something.
That is an excellent
You know.
observation.
God.
Yeah, I would agree. And it comes
So
through
there
on
was
this record.
There was some flirtation when Rumorville, and I don't know if it ever happened or they ever got into the room when Michael Stipe died, that he was going to come over and fill in with In Excess, but then they pretty quickly figured out that
Michael Hutchins.
Sorry.
He's like, man, Michael Stipe.
I'm sorry. That those two, it's just not going to fit.
Right. And it didn't work.
They were super new wavy.
Nice chatter. I mean, it makes sense on paper.
Yeah.
'cause
People
they're
were like,
both
"Oh, you got to get the,
selling guys.
Yeah,
It didn't work. It
Yeah.
wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Come on, people.
I know.
All right, we're keeping it rootsy.
Super curious.
We got a Raul Malo record, and this is a very different Raul. I love the artwork.
I think he was
on
just
this.
here, wasn't he?
I think he was.
He likes playing Houston.
He
'Cause
does.
comes
He
through
loves
here a
Houston.
lot. Yeah.
And the Mavericks are on this, but this is a very different record. It's not his, country pop, like kind of Americana rock leading thing. This is like a very orchestrated, arranged record. There's some big bandy sounding stuff on it, some kind of lush, surfy spaghetti western type stuff. He's such a versatile singer. He can sing all of that. He's a great singer, and cool record. I'm looking forward to spending it. To me, this sounds like California and like chilling out. Like again, a good summertime record. We're all kind of like thinking like, what's a summertime record? I know some people like summertime reading. What's going to be my summertime book? I'm always thinking about records. What's going to be the soundtrack to me? Cooling off in the water.
Love it.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, let's go move on to our always popular reissue section. We just have a few today. Let's kick it with how about
the drop viewers are calling.
How about Nas, the Lost Tape? So this is a 2002 release. We're almost 20 years in on this. This has the red hot track Do-Rags. This is one of the sanctioned hip hop 50 issues. This is a big record. A lot of his most well-known tunes. I was always taken with him because he has, of course, he's super musical. His dad was like a cornetist, and so there's like the piano like on their stuff. It wasn't just beats. Like his records are very, very, very musical. And this is a big one finally. And there was some production, like technical issues with the previous versions of this, and they didn't supposedly sound very good. This is supposedly revelatory improvement in the sound quality. So worth checking out for you fans. And of course, he's just been red hot for a long time, and I think it's time for fans to reevaluate some of his early work.
And for everybody who maybe you're a casual hip hop fan or whatever, or more of a hardcore fan, this is a great time to like add things to your collection with this happening right now.
And I will tell you, whether it's well-known music,
there's some incredible stuff,
whether it's obvious classics or not, if you see that branding on something, it's worth your time
this was
to check out.
specifically handpicked, curated to be part of this. And it's incredible. Yeah.
All right. And Atlantic Records is celebrating their 75th anniversary, and they keep it rolling by reissuing some records that have not been available on
this record.
And you want to talk about sophomore records that actually punched it? That actually probably better than the debut, certainly better than the debut.
This thing was
everywhere.
Is Stone Temple
Pilots Purple.
This thing was everywhere.
Interstate, Love Song, Vaseline. I mean, this thing you couldn't escape from it. I think it was super huge. 6 million sales in the U.S. and still, at the time, still going. I mean, still a huge record. People have been looking for this. It's been available sporadically, but it hasn't been in a while. So grab one while you can before it goes away.
Just a monster.
Again, actually, I think we've solved a lot of our production issues and stuff that aren't really color variants and stuff go away. But I think you're going to see records in the racks for times to come and without being
still sounds good to me.
Oh yeah, I think so
today.
Too. Yeah, timeless production because it's wired into that whole Zepp kind of sound, right?
Exactly.
Like it's a timeless sound.
You hit it right on the nose, my friend.
My son, when Graham Bishop, if I hear him upstairs in the shower, I might hear Interstate Love Song. Right. Him trying to sing along. That's pretty good.
Fantastic.
Hope you're not watching, G.
I love that. I love that.
Okay, this is our last reissue, and man, this is a reissue of a new record.
Okay.
Because this artist, let me tell you about Samara Joy. She is 23 years old.
What a voice.
And she is an unbelievable singer. And I think such a breath of fresh air for your traditional jazz fans that love vocal jazz. She is cut from the same cloth, really kind of emulating that era of Sarah Vaughan and Billie Holiday and Ella Fitzgerald. And man, she can do it. She is a great singer. Kind of record came out quietly, sold steadily for a while, but she won 2 Grammy Awards. She won the Best New Artist and Best Jazz Vocal Album, and that, of course, really catapulted her to the mainstream. And so the way to kind of do that is when you have that moments like that happen after a record's been out for a while, they'll sometimes do a deluxe version of the record, and that's what's happened here. So this is the regular LP, which you should check out. You should hear her, even if that's really not your thing. You should hear how someone in 2023 sings like that.
100%.
It is really awesome.
One of those, put it on in your house. People are coming over and watch everybody ask you, who is that?
Yeah, they're going to think, man, you're classy.
Yeah.
Whether you are or not. It's a good
Suave.
yeah, absolutely. So they did a deluxe edition on CD, and it has B-sides.
Oh, cool.
And in different arrangements of a lot of the tunes that people really dig on this record, that they decided to go with a different version for the album. So fun listening. If you already know this record, if not, this is a artist for you to rediscover.
Cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
And I feel like all this is coming back around again. I mean, we saw a lot of Ella records, a lot of Billie Holiday records. Young people come in and look for it. The time is right for her. And
you're going to sell a lot of Tina Turner records.
We're going to sell a lot of Tina Turner records.
We just lost the great Tina Turner.
She was awesome. And, you know, I knew a lot of people that had to work with her over the years. And, I mean, people always comment how just unbelievably cool she was.
So we're going to do a little show and tell.
Okay, let's do it.
So I don't know if you can see this picture. So that is my wife's Uncle Larry with Tina Turner on his left and an Icat on the right.
Whoa.
Now, Uncle Larry is a pasty white, red-headed, at the time, young man from St. Louis who was playing bass in an opening band in a club. And Ike and Tina Turner came in. Ike had a fight with the bass player, fired him that night, and said, "Hey, kid, can you play our songs?" He said, "Yes, I can." He goes, "You're going on tour with us." So he finished the tour with them. And that's them. That's them in the dressing room, as you can see. Tina with her stockings and no skirt on at the time. Yeah. So for about 2.5 weeks, he was playing clubs. He was going places that they were like, you know, there was a "Can we dance with your dates" situation when that dude walked through the club. You know,
that's solid gold. Great story.
Yeah. No longer with us. Rest in peace. Such a cool dude. I love you, Tina. And Uncle Larry.
Indeed, one of the greats, absolute greats. In greats to a degree that there's no, I mean, few can even match like that. Great.
She was you know, genre busting. You know, just did all the anyway. Whatever.
Hey, we're going to use your record.
Let's use my record. Let's use my record. Yeah, the Vinyl Vault.
It's Vinyl Vault time, and it's Ruben's Vinyl Vault time.
So it is Robert Palmer, Looking for Clues. And we actually, Quinn asked me about this last week as I was walking out, and I was shocked about how many people in the store were like, or at least Chris was amazed by it. Too. So, you know, I'm watching MTV at my girlfriend's house because she had MTV and I didn't have it. And, you know, 84, wherever.
You went where you could see it.
Well, went where I could see it. And I remember there was this really catchy tune called Looking for Clues that they played a lot because they didn't have a ton of videos. And Robert Palmer, Looking for Clues. And I'm like, I kind of like that. And I like this guy's voice, you know, and I went out and I bought this record. And since then, this is one of those records I've put on more times and listened to just consistently over the years, so many freaking times. And it's amazing. Recorded at Compass Point Studio in the Bahamas, which at the time, and I think this came out in what, 80? But that became a really hot studio. The Police recorded there, and a bunch of people recorded. I think Bob Marley recorded there.
Yeah, Island Records. It's like a home base for them.
Oh, see, mine's red.
Oh, that's wild.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Yeah.
And the UPC's in a different spot.
Yeah.
They call that a reissue, my man.
Yeah,
trying to keep up with it.
I know.
Yeah, I think you had the original. This is a repress.
I have no idea. But anyway, so you go from Looking for Clues, and each song really sounds different,
radically different
from
stylistically.
It's like this was him and he plays almost all of the instruments on here except for one or two guests. And you know, you go from Sulky Girl, great song, to Johnny and Mary.
Kind of Stones. Sulky Girl's very Stones.
Yeah, it starts out with that guitar. What Do You Care? Woke Up Laughing, which is like the track that I love so much, and I love it all.
I love that song too.
But it's such an incredible song. Now, if you hear. This is the original one that I like, but they've remixed it a couple of times, and like I think iTunes has the different version, but it's incredible, man. It's I don't know. It's just amazing. This record resonates a cool record. With me.
And I was telling when he told me that this was going to be his pick, I was telling him I do this Zoom call that began at the beginning of the pandemic.
Right.
3 guys I've traveled with C Music. We're old friends, and we pick a record every week to talk about. And we did this like a month ago. One of the guys picked this record, and it's one of those records that didn't really come up in conversation, but you realize, I mean, like music fans love this record. Robert kind of always gets kind of marginalized a little bit, but this record, I think, it had, with Johnny and Mary and Looking for Clues, had two of the coolest singles of that year. Like,
Sure.
I love both of those songs.
Yes.
Love them. And so his drummer on this record, and I guess he plays on a lot of Robert's records. I don't know the name. He doesn't even really have a wiki page. He's just Robert Palmer's drummer. The guy's a monster. He's a machine. He's really great. And Robert plays most of the instruments on this. I don't think people think about him because he's always in the suit, looking cool with the microphone. But he plays almost all the instruments on this, other than there's a player from Free, Andy Frazier.
Chris Franz is on the track.
Yeah,
I mean,
Gary Newman, co-write with Gary Newman.
And and then soon after that, we have Power Station, and it's just this juggernaut.
Right.
You couldn't get away from it. It was everywhere.
Addicted to Love, Simply Irresistible, like it goes from there. But this, he was already selling some records, but this, if you listen to the records prior to this, this is a strong, bold move to do something different, and it works spectacularly.
Pretty different from all his 70s stuff too.
Oh yeah,
because his 70s stuff was really just rock, bluesy, almost bluesy based.
Yeah, it
rock.
comes from a blues thing, but then he gets involved. He spends a lot of time in the Caribbean, and that element comes through, and it's here a little bit.
Yeah,
but the guitar playing is so whack. I mean, and I know you love Talking Heads. There's a big Talking Heads.
Absolutely, 100%.
Influence there.
Check it out, man. Give it a listen. You guys, you might dig it. It's just eclectic.
One last comment about this record. He does one thing that almost nobody ever does. And you want to talk about somebody who's being confident in their decision making and really kind of just doing his own thing. He takes a Beatles song and writes another verse to it.
Which one?
Not a second time. He
really?
Which was a B-side. It was a B-side.
I didn't know that.
Not that well known in the States.
Knowledge. That's what happens on this show.
But he writes. He's like, oh, you know what, John and Paul, they missed a little bit here. I'm just going to add to it. Nobody does that. That is a strong move.
Cojones.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. This is really a fun listen.
God almighty.
Thrilled, Ruben.
All right, real quick. What's coming up? What's on the horizon?
Saturday. May 27th. Saturday.
Pause.
Saturday, 1 p.m. A Lighthearted is going to be rocking the Cactus stage. Complimentary St. Arnold beverages. This is a band worthy of your attention. Great harmonies.
What does it cost to get into that show?
Not a dime, not a penny, nothing.
Free.
Come by.
Come on
hang out
down
at the record store with us and see some great music.
Guys, if you're in the area, come on down. See the folks at Cactus. Follow them at Cactus Music. That's our time. We'll see you next week. Peace.